Hi there. Today we will be learning how to create intersecting forms in 3-point perspective. Your existing tutorial shows you how to create intersecting forms in 2-point perspective. And some important things to note about 2-point perspective: there are a total of 2 vanishing points. The one there you can't really see, so let's pop that on there. And corners or edges of the buildings are all vertical, whether they are intersecting or off in space, as you see here. All other lines converge to either the left or the right side vanishing point. So with 2-point perspective, you're looking mainly at a left side and a right side. So some things are going to be similar in our 3-point perspective drawing. Those similarities include, let's get a clean paper, a horizon line roughly through the middle of the page. It could be higher or lower depending on your eye level. A vanishing point on the left and a vanishing point on the right. One thing that will be different also about 3-point perspective intersecting forms is there will be a vanishing point on the top. So this is 3-point intersecting forms. Let's see if I have a better pencil handy. Okay, like the 2-point example, we're going to start with the front edge or front corner of this building that we're looking at from an angle. And the line may be straight up and down if it is directly below that vanishing point. Okay. Were you to put it off to the side, it would be vertical in real life but appear to converge to that vanishing point in 3-point perspective. So if it was off to this side, it might follow that line of the ruler. And like 2-point perspective, we're going to connect the top and the bottom of that line to the left side vanishing point to show the left side of the form, and also to the right to show the right side of the form. And I like to trail off my pencil because I know my line ultimately would extend to the vanishing point and save myself some erasing. So I'm going to go ahead and erase here the horizon line where it's masked by the form itself. And for the side edges of the building, they simply need to go to that vertical vanishing point rather than being straight up and down like 2-point. So the bottom base is going to appear wider than the top, even though in reality they are the same length. This is the illusion created by our perspective or the way that we are looking at it. The next step in the video and handout tutorial is drawing a small vertical line here and a small vertical line here where these forms appear to come through the box or the rectangular prism from the other side. So we won't be making ours vertical like in 2-point. We will have them come from that vertical vanishing point. So we'll put this maybe a little more toward the left here than to the right. And for the sake of clarity, I'm just going to do one at a time. Now we're going to be seeing the left side face of this form. We're going to be drawing this face that's on the left of that front corner. So those tops and bottoms will need to converge to the left side vanishing point. So I've lined it up, and in fact we're projecting it outward. So I'm moving that direction. I can have a little space here and continue the line on the other side. I'm going to pivot off of that same vanishing point, lining up with this point here, and extend outward here and inward here on the other side of my form. So now we're kind of seeing this flat plank coming through, and we need to define where begins and where it ends. Once again, instead of a vertical line, it will appear to converge to the vanishing point. Okay, so that is the one side or the one dimension of this plank coming through, and this is going to be overlapping, so I can erase that line here. Now, just like this was the front corner edge of this form, this is the front corner edge of this form. So that means I need to connect to make I have done my left side, I need to do the right side by connecting the top and the bottom to my right side vanishing point. And this is just going to be a little line here because it needs to be proportional to the length here. And I'm going to connect here just a little bit into space, and then to define that far end, connecting once again to that vertical vanishing point. So the little sliver that I'm seeing here, and we see the left side, we see the right side. Because this object is above our horizon line, which is also our eye level, I also see the bottom. So just like in 2-point and 3-point perspective boxes, the bottom corners are going to converge to the opposite side vanishing point. I'm going to scooch this over so you can see that they do in fact connect. I'm going to draw that onto the form itself and maybe a little bit below. Just like the right side corner converged to the left side vanishing point, the left side corner needs to converge to the right side vanishing point. And that will occur both for the bottom of this form here and also for this bottom corner where the box meets, the plank meets the initial form. And they'll only go as far as our form here. Now what I'm noticing is there's a little gap in space here. It might make sense then to adjust this bottom edge to match here, going to that same vanishing point, and then going from there to find that edge so that we don't have this kind of gap in space. I'm going to go ahead and erase that now. And I can erase this. So that way it connects all the way to this initial form. So now you can see the left, the right, and the bottom of this intersecting plank. So that shows one coming out from the right side, begins in the left and goes through. Now I'm going to show one coming from the right side and going through this left face. And like this line, I'm going to make it closer to my center than away, but somewhere below my horizon line. Or it could go on or above. And just as these projected outward from the left, this is going to project outward from the right, because it is going in the opposite direction. And I'll draw where it begins on this side. I'm going to pivot from that vanishing point down to the bottom of that small line that I drew. A line that we know in reality is vertical but does appear slightly sloped here. So now we're looking at the right side, like we have the right side here and we have the right side here. So we need to define the front edge. Like all the front edges here, it's going to connect to that vertical vanishing point. And now it's time to create the left. So I'm going to connect the top and the bottom of that front corner to my left side vanishing point. Whether or not my lines fully extend there. And define how far back in space it goes. And once again, we want to keep it kind of narrow to be proportional to what we can fit over there. So I'm going to line that up to my vanishing point, draw it down, and now I have that left side face. In addition to the left and the right, we do need to see something of the top because we are ever so slightly below our vanishing point or our eye level. So like our 2- and 3-point boxes in space, back edges convert to opposite vanishing points. I can do the edge here. Just a little sliver that we see because it is so close to our horizon line. I can erase lines that are overlapped by the forms themselves. I'll try to touch that up just a little. And then we have to deal with this right edge over here. We can't see the left of it, but we can see where it ends, lining up to that vanishing point. And this far corner will be going to the opposite vanishing point as well. So just a smidge there. And we have our intersecting forms. Our video offered an extension where we have a vertical form intersecting here. Instead of starting with that front edge, you could start with a line close to here that connects to that left side vanishing point, and that would come above and below that form in the direction of that vanishing point. So I'm going to pivot that to the other side. Oopsies. I have it coming outward here and above here. And now what we're seeing is the left side face of yet another box. I want to erase anywhere it's overlapped. Define the top left sides as going to our left vanishing point, like all the other parallel lines. The bottom going to that left vanishing point. And it looks like I need to extend that a bit down here. Let's make that line up just a little bit better. And then now that we have the left side of this box, we need to show the right side that converges to the right side vanishing point. Not terribly far. And match those lines up to the vanishing point as well. Okay. I lifted off here a little bit because I also need to connect this to that other vanishing point. And erase this overlapped portion here. So hopefully it's emerging as a clear vertical bar that is intersecting this horizontal plank or bar. If you want to get tricky with it, you can use yesterday's lesson and creating inside spaces, make windows or doors that converge to the top vanishing points, have right side faces converge to the right side vanishing point, left side would converge to the left side vanishing point, include depth by connecting to opposite vanishing points, make an additional parallel line to the right side, an additional vertical up. You could draw what is showing through by lining up your ruler to match what would you see there. Ever so slightly above it. Another portion of that form. Maybe shade around it to make it look like space going into the space or into the depth. Dark things seem to recede. Light things seem to pop forward. A great and easy, simple trick to make your drawings appear more dimensional. Okay. Take your time to make yours nice and neat. I'm rushing a little bit here for our video, but I will clean it up. And have fun. Remember, it's okay to make a mistake. Just try again. Thank you.